Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing my updated Senate predictions. I know I didn't do one last month, but now we're going to do one this month. So first we're going to go through as we always do. We're not going to do it alphabetical order. Got it memorized. That's a classic Kingdom Hearts joke. So we're going to go from west to east as we always do because we're weird like that. So Washington, that's safe blue. There was a poll that came out that had Patty Murray down by 9, or up by only 9. Which, again, like I said in January, this state is there are 3 Democrat states that could become competitive: Washington, Illinois, and Connecticut. Out of all 3, Washington is probably the state that becomes competitive first. So, this could become likely Democrat at any point. Oregon, you would expect Oregon to be competitive for Washington. Here's the thing, though. Patty Murray isn't that popular in Washington, and Ron Wyden is super popular, and Oregon does super well in Oregon's 2nd Congressional District, the rural areas. He does very well there. California, Alex Padilla's most prominent challenger is a Democrat by the name of Jerome Horton, and I'm pretty sure he's more progressive than Alex Padilla, so it's probably going to be I think, 2018 scenario right there, where Dianne Feinstein was facing up against a more progressive challenger in Kevin DeLeon, and we'll probably see a good matchup between Padilla and Horton right there. That could become competitive between those two, though I doubt it. I expect Padilla to win by 12 points or more. Other safe states, Colorado. This is a state that my fellow Republicans are saying is going to be super competitive. As of right now, Eli Bremer isn't running that great of a campaign. Ron Hanks isn't expected to become the nominee, and even then I'd still have it as safety. I expect Michael Bennet to win by 10 points or more. Illinois, that'll be safe. Tammy Duckworth does very well in the ancestral Democrat areas, the rural areas. Vermont, they have a log cabin Republican running up there who has my full support 100%. Christina Nolan, I think her name is, though she won't make this race any competitive. Maybe Welch wins by 20 points or less, though I doubt it becomes competitive. Connecticut, Temescal Clarides, again, someone else who I support wholeheartedly. She's running against the Senator Richard Blumenthal. Again, I expect Blumenthal to win by around 13 points. Maryland, Larry Hogan isn't running, so there goes all my hopes of Maryland going red this year. I am heartbroken. That was actually a joke on Twitter. Someone tagged me in Dominator and was like, man, these two are going to be heartbroken. And I was like, yep, I'm super heartbroken. Crying emoji faces. I was upset. But Chris Van Hollen is probably going to win re-election very easily. I'm hoping Kim Klacik runs just so I can see Chris Van Hollen mop the floor with her. Chuck Schumer's probably going to win by 20 points or more. Super popular in upstate New York. Super popular in the New York City area, as well as in the tail. New York's tails, I'm going to call it. So there you go. And of course, Hawaii, Brian Schatz is running against Bob McDermott, though I don't know much about McDermott personally. Maybe he's just a generic Republican. I'm not sure. Okay, so these safe Republican states, Alaska, safe. If I had to guess, the final runoff is going to be Lisa Murkowski, Sarah Palin, L.V. Gray Jackson, and John Ho if he runs. Or Sarah Palin, if it's 3 Republicans, safe D. Sarah Palin beats Lisa Murkowski. If it's just Murkowski, Teshibaka, and, to a Democrat independent, Murkowski wins. Teshibaka is in a very bad place there. Unless Murkowski underperforms, which I doubt. So I do expect Murkowski to win re-election in Alaska on the final ballot. Mike Lee, there was a poll that came out in Utah that had Evan McMullin above both Steve Schmidt and Cale Weston, the 2 major Democrats that people are speculating to run. Cale Weston has confirmed to run. Steve Schmidt, the founder of the Lincoln Project, has not announced a run yet, though I do expect him to. And Steve Schmidt was like at 13% in the poll. Evan McMullin was at a 23, and I think Mike Lee was at 35. I do expect Mike Lee to win by over 20 points in this scenario. Evan McMullin might win a county. He might win a county. I'm not going to say which county, but he could. He could win a county. Idaho, safe. North Dakota, there could be a competitive primary in North Dakota. I doubt it, though. State Congressman Rick Becker is primarying John Hoeven, so it might be something we might want to watch out for. Very interesting. Trump has not endorsed Hoeven yet, which I'm pretty sure he will, but it is weird he hasn't. South Dakota, John Thune could be retiring, but either way, it's safe Republican. Kansas, safe. Oklahoma, there's a competitive primary here, or at least it's competitive until Donald Trump makes an endorsement, between Jackson LaMaire and James Langford. There was Nathan Dahm, but he jumped into the other Oklahoma Senate race, that Jim Inhofe seat, which there's a special election going on. However, I do expect Markwayne Mullin to end up winning the nomination down there as of right now. So either way, 37. Chuck Grassley, according to my polling, Chuck Grassley is actually underperforming Kim Reynolds. He's at like 20 points and she's at 25, which, take that with what you will. I don't take these numbers all too seriously until, August, which, thank you to the people who follow me on Twitter for telling me August. Missouri, I do expect Mark McCloskey to win Donald Trump's endorsement. It'll be a huge shock, but I do expect McCloskey to win and win by over 20 points in Missouri. Arkansas, John Boozman will win. In Louisiana, John Neely Kennedy will end up winning re-election by safe, probably on the runoff. Probably it won't go to a runoff. He'll probably win on the first ballot. Oklahoma, neocons were taking, Katie Britt's internal polls and be like, oh my god, Katie Britt is leading by such a huge margin. And then we finally got a non-internal poll that showed Katie Britt behind both Mo Brooks and Michael Durant. I'm not surprised, but I do expect Mo Brooks to end up winning by, over 30 points. Tim Scott, he'll probably win by over 20 points, super popular in South Carolina. Marco Rubio, he's going to win by a safe margin. Val Demings stands no chance. He probably wins by around 11 to 12 points. I do expect him to underperform Ron DeSantis, even though my polling says otherwise. Kentucky, Rand Paul will end up winning re-election. Todd Young, same thing. And that is all of the safe states. So it's 46 to 46 apiece. These are all the safe states. Let's do the likely Democrat states. If there is any, there is not. We really don't have that big of a battleground map. We don't have any likely, actually we have two likely Republican states, that being Ohio and North Carolina. Let's, change this chart. Ted Budd is currently running as the Republican nominee, well, he's not the Republican nominee. I expect him to be a Republican nominee against Cherry Beasley, who I expect to be the Democrat nominee. And Cherry Beasley's been running a very far-left campaign, far left than, what you want to be in a southern state like North Carolina. She'll do well in the urban areas, but then she'll get trounced in the suburbs and the rural areas. So I do expect her to get beat by 5 points or more in November. J.D. Vance, I do expect him to win the Republican nomination. And he'll be running against probably Tim Ryan, if I had to guess. And I expect Vance to underperform as of right now. That's what polling's telling me. I expect him to win by 7 against Tim Ryan. Tim Ryan will do really well in Youngstown, as he typically does. Which he's been underperforming more and more, but in Youngstown he does really well. But I do expect Vance to end up winning by around 7 points. There is no lean Democrat states, but there is 2 lean Republican states, that being Georgia and Wisconsin. That does not give Republicans a majority. They need 51 to do so. Democrats only need to pick off all 4 of these seats right here if they want to keep their majority. Currently, I expect Ron Johnson to beat Mandela Barnes by 4 points. Mandela Barnes running a super far left campaign, which I don't think is going to be as successful as it would have been maybe 4 or 6 years ago. Progressivism's starting to become super unpopular in this country, which he could be turning around. Could be, I'm not sure. But I do expect Ron Johnson to win by around 4 points. Herschel Walker, unlike what I said in January, he's actually turned his campaign around a bit. I have no idea how he did it, but he's done it. He's leading in polling, and I do expect him to end up winning by around 2 points in Georgia. Now, let's, start going. Now we're going to do this east to west. Maggie Hassan, she's going to be in a tough place coming November. I think Don Bolduc or Bill Beeney, whoever the nominee is, they're going to give Maggie Hassan a run for her money, but I do expect her to narrowly hold on yet again. Pennsylvania, the second flip, I guess you could say, Republicans would flip Georgia by this point. I do expect the Democrats to make a shock flip in Pennsylvania. As of right now, Dr. Oz has a lot of baggage against him, you know, being from New Jersey and all. And that's reflecting in polling, and he's not leading right now. He's underperforming where he needs to be. So I do expect John Fetterman to win. He does good in ancestral Democrat areas, for some reason. Next up in Arizona, this is going to be controversial, but, you know, either whoever the nominee is, Blake Masters or Mark Brnovich, I expect them to lose to Mark Kelly as of right now. They're actually all underperforming where they need to be in order to beat Mark Kelly. They're both terrible candidates. Mark Kelly, I do expect to narrowly hold on. Now, Nevada, most likely going to be the, you know, the turning point, the tipping point state of this election, most likely, if I had to guess. And I do expect Republicans to narrowly hold on, or narrowly win the state of Nevada. I think Adam Laxalt's a good candidate. I think in this map we'll probably see a red Clark County and a blue Yuma County, if you want my honest opinion. It'll be a shocking map, because Clark County is trending red, Yuma County, from what I know, is trending blue. I could be wrong there, but Adam Laxalt doing very, very well in polling. I think he's actually leading in polling right now, which, you know, good for him. He's overperforming where he needs to be. But, you know, I could make this lean Republican, but I don't want to make that call just yet. I have it as tilt as of right now. But this is my Senate prediction map. What do you guys think? Tell me down in the comments below. This is the Chaotic One saying peace, and don't forget to go follow my Twitter at ChaoticPolitics.